Hello, I'm Andy Coulson and welcome back to Crisis What Crisis and another Crisis Comforts episode. Short but perfectly formed advice for getting you through the tough times. As regular listeners or viewers will know, at the end of our conversations we ask all our guests for their 3 crisis comforts, their go-tos for inspiration and strength during the challenging times. And over the years we've accumulated some incredibly interesting, much more importantly useful tips for anyone who might be feeling the weight of their own difficulties. I've just had a conversation with former politician and war correspondent Revd Jonathan Aitken about his 8 decades of triumph and crisis, from being born into privilege, fighting childhood illness, to being at the top end of politics, and then finding himself, as I once did, in Belmarsh prison. We talk about what this packed life has taught him about resilience and survival. His story is unbelievable, and I would urge you to listen to his full episode. You can find links below in the notes. In the meantime, if you're short on time, you can listen now to Jonathan's 3 crisis comforts in this quick taster. Many thanks for listening. Jonathan, before we let you go, I'm going to ask you for your 3 crisis comforts. So these are 3 very specific things that you rely on in times of difficulty. We've talked, obviously, about your faith, and that I'm sure runs through everything. But if I were to ask you for 3 little specifics...
Sure.
3 tips, if you like, for people who are facing crisis, what would they be?
Well, one would be fitness. All my life, I've been a runner, not a good runner at all, a jogger, but I have done 7 marathons, and still I keep fit really by enjoying running. The verb running is pretty generous and flattering.
Well, you've done 7 marathons. That doesn't sound generous at all.
Well, no, but I mean, no. I plod rather than I run, but I plodded around Hyde Park for 5 miles yesterday, and I probably do that 2 or 3 times a week, and just so...
You did 5 miles yesterday, right?
Yes, slowly, but I really enjoy the fresh air and thinking, and it just fitness and running. But one rather unusual thing. The second thing I'm a kind of great reader. I love books, but if I was desert island disc type, I'd have to take one book. I'd find a really good anthology of poetry, which I love. I might take John Betjeman, because I remember it so well. He always makes me laugh. But, you know, great anthology, Giles Brand, that's come out a very good one recently. An old one is Field Marshal Lord Wavell's Other Men's Flowers. I'd take a book of poetry. But the book which I'd take and read more often than anyone else, and I read it every day, which combines the spiritual and the academic and the poetic life, is the Book of Psalms. I really am almost hesitate to call myself a scholar on the Psalms, but I've learned Hebrew at one moment, or a bit of Hebrew. I read a book on the Psalms, and I love the Psalms, not just the old favourites like the 23rd Psalms, but they are songs of experience. These Hebrew poets 2,800 years ago understood life so well, and I find every day something which is relevant to modern life and to my life. So the Psalms, fitness and poetry, those are my 3 shots.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Jonathan Aitken, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you've enjoyed this conversation with Jonathan, then please do leave us a review, and if you found it helpful or inspiring even, we would be delighted if you would recommend us to your friends. You can watch the full episodes on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and if you hit subscribe, you'll find a lot more useful crisis conversations. As always, full transcripts are available on our website, along with links. Just head to crisiswhatcrisis.com. Thanks so much for listening.